Welcome to Divine Purpose Podcast with your host, Daniel and
Patrice Myers. In this podcast, you will be introduced to the 3 C's.
Comedy, conversations, and community. Join the discussion with fellow entrepreneurs, community activists,
with our major focus on the beauty of family in our community. Episodes drop every Tuesday. Whether inspirational or ratchet, all conversations have a divine purpose. So do I say corny or do you say corny?
You wrote it.
Okay. All right, y'all. Welcome to Divine Purpose Podcast. Today we have the Couples Lounge.
Yet again.
Yes, and with us today we have our therapist.
She get all the dirt, juice, and all that shit.
Diane Jones. She knows so much stuff about us, has been through so many different things with us. And just a little bit about her. She is a licensed clinical social worker who's based in, she's actually nationwide because she's a digital nomad. Yes. Okay. Yes. She sees clients who deal with trauma, depression, anxiety, women's health concerns, LGBTQ topics, and addiction. She also deals with clients that have unshakable lack of confidence, low self-esteem, or feelings of hopelessness. With me and Daniel and everything that we've been through, we realize that a lot of the stuff that we have going on is a root of some sort of low self-esteem or thinking that we were lacking thereof. And Miss Diane has helped us to develop confidence, not just in ourselves, but also in our relationship.
Yes. And look at the spawning of all this.
Yes.
It's birth.
Manifest.
It's manifested because we've been able to talk out things. We've been able to really get into ourselves and each other. And if it wasn't for you, I don't see this or nothing everything.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because she probably would have burned the house down.
I was leaving. I wasn't going to even burn it down. I was going to leave.
I was like, look, I pull back up home and be like, oh, the house is still standing. Step one.
But it's empty.
But is it empty?
That part.
No, you all have done some really hard work. You have done some really hard work.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's with your support, because a lot of times we can get to a brick wall and not want to grow no further.
Or don't know you need to grow.
Or don't know you need to grow.
Or don't know you need to grow.
So outside of us, like, what got you into therapy? What got you into it?
I mean, as a social worker, it kind of was a natural progression. I work with all different populations. But I probably started as, being the one in my family who was the fixer. I'm the middle child.
Okay.
So I was the one, the go-to for everything, like everybody's problems. It was just a natural thing, I guess.
Sound like Kiki.
So then I saw a profession that kind of mirrored those natural gifts that were developing. And so that's how I got into social work. And then for social work, for a long time I managed programs. I always did groups for women and individuals and families. So that always was my lane, the mental health piece. But just as I went on, I started to specialize in just that and a lot of program management too in DC. So
that's what's up. Damn. So I'm sure you've seen a whole lot. And
yes.
I know you can't speak on what you've seen because you're a real motherfucking therapist over here. But it's like, how do you deal with seeing so many people going through their trauma? Because like me being in the fire department, you see so much shit that you take all that stuff home with you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, how do you separate it?
So you learn those boundaries really early or you won't make it. You burn out. So one of my first social work jobs was working in the emergency room. I was the 4 to 12 social worker in Connecticut. So I seen it all. And that's how I learned who I want to work with and who I didn't want to work with. I knew then I could not do children. Because when they brought the abused children in and the sexually abused children, I just wanted to fight the parents. Like, it wasn't going to work out. I couldn't do it.
I can't cancel you through this.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I tell my supervisor all the time.
Yes. Your trauma is impacting this baby, and that's where
you know your husband is having sex with her, and you manage your daughter. That wasn't my work. So I quickly learned my lane, and then I see a lot of domestic violence, a lot of abused women who just stayed, come in with a broken jaw, broken ribs. And so at the point, you'd be just like, so what, you just need a taxi voucher?
Yeah.
So I knew that wasn't my group, because after a while, you'd be like, what we doing?
So you have to find where your lane is. I never looked at
it
like
that way either.
How did you see it?
No, I said I didn't look at it that way either. Like, you too have a choice as to who you want to see.
And I knew what was a match for me. So I need people who came wanting to work. I can't afford. The population who did not, because I work with people who were court ordered for therapy and court ordered. That's not my group either. Like, my person is the one who knows there's some issues you want to work on, even if you don't know what the issues are. Even if you think you know what they are, it's usually not what you think it is, right? So I want people who are motivated to come and do the work.
That's kind of like how when we came to you. We came to you in the midst of a fucking hurricane.
You called me and was like, I'm going to lose my family. I need an appointment.
I need an appointment. I don't know.
I'm not going to mess this up.
I said, I lost her once. I'm not losing her again. I don't know what the fuck is going
panic.
on. And I actually said, I'm not no professional, so I seen you on the goddamn internet. What's up? Straight like that.
I never forget that call. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Straight like that.
Yeah. So you're coming already for some work. Because if you're not coming to work, I'm not your girl. I'm not the one. Because you got to be ready to do the work. Because it's work. If not, you're just wasting your time and mine. And I don't really have that kind of time.
Time is valuable.
And you like, it don't matter about billing or anything like that.
I don't want none of that.
See people actually better themselves.
So it's a passion in it for you.
Absolutely.
And you're working in your divine purpose.
Absolutely.
You think about working in your divine purpose. What we've come to realize is, you're going to be rewarded for working in your purpose, but it's not about the reward. It's about fulfilling your purpose.
Absolutely.
And by you knowing the people that are set out for you, and as long as you know how to cater to those people, it's a win-win on both sides.
Exactly.
Because they want to receive the help, and you want to be able to give the help, and that's where the work is.
Exactly. And so it's a beautiful thing to be able to work in your purpose. And not, because I've done jobs when it's not in your purpose. I mean, even though it was social work, I knew like it was a job.
Right.
It wasn't all the way giving me what I wanted to do.
To fulfill yourself.
Yeah, so I, made a deal with the universe. Like, if you put me in this position, what I want to do, I'm going to do what you put me here to do, and I don't have to worry about no bills. I can't worry about the mundane things and do this work.
How do you make a deal with the universe?
Right.
It's a karmic connection. Like, I go back, remind them about karmic agreements. Because we all came here to do some work.
Right.
We all came in for a purpose. And so when you're clear about your purpose, you go back to the people you originally made that deal with.
Yeah.
So I can't be worrying about that. I can't ever worry about where the next money coming from, all that. I can't do that and be clear about and to give the messages, the stuff that comes through me. I can't be doing that and worrying about that mundane stuff.
I've come to realize and understand, like through life, in my humble 39-year-old being, which ain't shit in the grand scheme of things. But I've come to understand that, like.
But you older than 39 though.
Yeah, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I know I've been here before.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you understand.
Sure. Absolutely.
You understand.
Yeah, you 39 in this body, in this incarnation.
You have
clearly,
ears.
This is not your thing.
You clearly have ears.
Yeah,
he's
clear.
so happy. She hears me.
Talk that talk.
But this is one of the reasons why you were the right therapist for us. Because Daniel does things purposely when he's talking to people to see if they get it. He'll say,
out the test.
He threw you a lot of little. Sorry, I cussed. What the fuck? Yeah. Like, that's one. The sorry, I cussed. He started
sorry, I cussed.
all
what the
that.
fuck?
Sorry, I cussed. And keep cussing. He pulled out the
I don't do that in public. Then you wasn't supposed to.
the vape pen.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
And
Commercial break.
Right.
It's all good.
Daniel do that on purpose with people. I'm gonna start it over. He do that on purpose with people. Like he does that when he cusses, and he be like, what the fuck, blah blah blah. Oh, I'm sorry, I just cuss when I talk. Forgive me. He'll bring some wine to a session just to be like, I mean, you gonna love me for who I am or what? 'Cause I drink. He'll say something about some spiritual cosmic realm just to see if someone catches it. he does all those things, and I was just looking at him, and I was watching you in the way that you were
I was like, damn,
interpreting
she got that
everything,
shit.
and you was kind of like, come on, nigga, come on.
I said she part of the tribe.
Yeah. So like little stuff like that, and even having this conversation about talking about how we need to make a deal with the universe. Like this is
You already
why
made a deal. You just need to remind them of the deal, and you need to remember the deal.
Them.
You already made, yeah.
this is why Miss Diane is our therapist.
Yeah.
You already made a deal. You came here. You signed up for something. You stood in that line and said, I'm going to come here to do this. Of course, we got our lessons to learn. We all got to learn how to love, right? So you and Daniel mirror the same unhealed spaces. And so the ideal relationship is a relationship you feel safe and healing together. Because like attracts like. So that insecurity you have, he also has. It's going to manifest differently. But at the core, it's the same thing.
She's the reciprocal of me.
It's the mirror.
You know what I'll
It's
do?
that mirror effect.
One thing I do want to say is I feel like that statement that you've been making about we're mirrors of each other, I feel like I just heard it more recently, like from you. Like you might have been saying it to us the whole time, but for some reason,
It just stuck.
the last couple of sessions we have, it's stuck. Like, oh, and I feel like it's stuck because it also stuck for him too, because I think we both thought that my issues are not your issues,
absolutely.
your issues are not my issues.
Absolutely.
But we're seeing that it's
the same thing.
It's our issue situation.
It's a lot of mental work that goes into what we're doing, and it's
Yes.
like the way I don't know, because I've been with other therapists before, but I've never been with a therapist that fit like this, right? And the other thing that I appreciate about it is just like the idea of therapy, right? Especially in the black community,
Yes.
it's
Taboo.
It's taboo. It's a stigma. It's like, oh, you can't handle your own issues. But like, we got the most health issues because we're mentally fucked up. We got the most anxiety. We have the most high blood pressure. That all these, so many physical diseases that are manifested from our mental being messed
Absolutely.
up. And so you understand because you speak the language. All is mental. So.
Right.
Therapy has helped me get my mental together. I'm somebody that can run 10 miles
So your physical is together.
after I take my morning medicine.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it doesn't stop me or bother me.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do that. But my mental was in disarray when I came your way. And because my mental was in disarray, what does that mean for my reciprocal?
Exactly. And your kids.
Yeah.
The whole ripple effect.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And you set the tone for that.
Oh yeah, and I want to actually thank you, commend you, and talk to the 6 people that's going to see this. I want.
Hi guys.
Yeah, hey, 6 people. Like
6 people.
it's 6 people that watch our show. That's
you're,
all we're gonna see.
You're giving contradictory information to the universe.
Now the universe knows my
to the millions of
The
people.
universe knows my sense of humor.
600 that watches that. We're not even playing them games.
Yeah, don't play with the
I was
universe.
like 6 million. Shit.
Say it did.
That's what I'm
6
talking
million, and we're gonna have 60,000 people paying $5 a month to our Patreon.
about. Now we talking.
60,000 people paying $5 a month to our Patreon.
Why not?
Because they love what we're doing.
Why not? Why not?
It's work.
Why not?
I
Why
spoke
not
it.
you?
I spoke it.
Why not you?
Let's see what the fuck happens.
Why not you?
But I'm gonna look back 5 years from now and be like, hey,
Remember that time?
we got 100,000 paying $10. Damn.
Why not you?
What's that, man?
Don't put out
It's
your
about
phone.
opening your mind up.
So one thing, okay. Like literally, I that's so true because I feel like the conversations that we've been getting into have kind of shifted from. Okay, I feel like we've moved out of the past trauma that we were dealing with, and now we're kind of dealing with the everyday stuff.
Yes.
Like when
The
I say
growing
past
pains.
trauma, I'm talking about like us dealing with the infidelity,
old
the
patterns.
separation, the way that the violent argument, all of that stuff. And now it's just like, what's next? The next movement. And it's interesting because I think that's part of the reason why we've been a little frustrated with each other because we know that we moved past that. And we like, so then now what the fuck is the problem now?
Right.
So,
We're not even broke right now.
Exactly.
So when you said the growing pains, talk to us about that part.
So you're at the next level. So there's new levels of stuff you got to uncover too. So new levels of insecurities that you didn't even know were there.
Right.
And so the dynamics of the relationships have changed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The dynamics have changed.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing, Daniel's doing his thing, and it's growing. This is all unfolding big, right?
Yeah.
So you're not available as much as you used to be anymore.
Yep.
So he depended on that for his security.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's going to be a shift. So then what does he do with all that space?
Mm-hmm.
So he got to fill that space for something else because you're not there.
Yeah.
Not in the same way. And
Yeah.
so all those dynamics create other issues.
Yeah.
And so, and the fear too of that he never had to think about. So am I enough alone?
Mm-hmm.
I was, you took care of a lot of things, and so he was able to not think about things and handle things. Now there's things he got to think about, and so any old insecurity will pop up. Like, so am I enough really to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that's exactly like where I am. Where I could say like as far as fear, where we are now, my fear is being so busy, like where we are right now, and it's just like, am I attending to your like? Do you feel fulfilled? Like, am I leaving you out? But is it okay in this time as we're growing to give a strain on the relationship? Because like, this is the space that we're in where we need to do this and do that, and then have the time to come back.
Exactly. So you have to be real intentional about how you spend your time and how you set that up, and not just assume, those things will be taken care of. You have to be very intentional. Or something's gonna fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
And those old things will come back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I get feel missing it, and sometimes we do miss it. Sometimes I know I miss it, and now I just realized this year that I've had a communication problem all these years.
No.
Nah, nigga.
What you mean?
I mean, when I tell you, I just
Yeah,
realized
no, I did.
What do you mean communication problem?
What I mean is I don't really know how to see, like, even right now I'm looking for the words.
I don't believe
I don't
that.
know how to when it's like a vulnerable space, I don't know how to exactly give my words. So I kind of like fumble.
I haven't seen that.
Well,
I don't know if that's the right story you're telling yourself.
You think it's a story I'm telling myself?
I don't know if it's an issue of communicating, more so whether or not you feel like you should communicate what you need to communicate. Like, okay, like this is what happens, right? Sometimes.
Give me an example.
So I could ask a question, like it could be like, oh, Daniel, what you about to go do? And he could just simply say, I'm gonna go run to the store, right? And so he'll go run to the store, and it's an hour and a half later.
Because he has some stops in between the store.
Right.
Yeah, that's how men communicate. That has nothing to do with you being a good or bad communicator.
Oh shit.
So we just more details.
But see, that be causing so many goddamn problems. Cause I be like, man, I don't.
Yeah, because
feel
we
like...
want the details. You just say I'm going to the store, but the store is not an hour. You didn't say I'm going to the store, then I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna do this and do that, and then I'm gonna get to the store. So you all know that's how men talk. I'm gonna go to the store. You are going to the store, but you're doing 10 other things too.
I'll be back when I be back.
So it's not that you're not a communicator. We like details.
And then I guess what happens with us too is that in me asking for the details, then all of a sudden it's like, you're not my mom, you're not in control of me, like all of these. So then we go back and forth with that, and it's like I would do the same thing with my girlfriends. I did not know that this is now offensive to you and your honor. And it's like trying to
in my honor.
like damn, like I'm trying. It's like so. I was saying earlier that one of the things that you said to me that stuck out the most is that men and women communicate different, but it's still like, the fuck, nigga, why you just can't say, like, after all these years, you know what I'm looking for you to say. So the fact that I have to even ask, you're irritated with me asking, but I'm irritated because I actually have to ask for further details.
Yep. And here lies.
And then that's where a whole.
Here lies the problem. So that comes from me, like the way I grew up. And we've discussed this in therapy, actually. Like, I didn't have to explain where I was going growing up. So, like, me growing up with the way I grew up in my household, we ain't had cell phones, all that back then. And I wasn't even the porch light kid. People like, you gotta be home by the porch light. I don't get that joke, because that really wasn't us. Like,
Get home when the lights come on.
No, we get home when the
He said, I don't get that joke.
because that wasn't us. We just came
That
home.
wasn't a joke. That was real.
But for us, they didn't.
You didn't have that level of structure.
I wouldn't call it structure. I would just say it was just like, I guess that is lack of structure. But it's nothing wrong with that. That's just how that's how I grew up. So I mean, to grow up like that, and then to be an adult and be like, you gotta tell me where you going or where you going. I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like,
but see, now you're accountable to somebody. So it's not about she want to know where you're going. Like, so the store don't take an hour. You didn't come back. So now we worried.
Yeah, she be worried about every goddamn thing.
But that's how it's set up. That's how it's set up. Yeah, because the store don't take an hour. Yeah. So you're like, oh, I just did such and such. It's not about really clocking where you are, but just this, we need that information. So if you know she needs that, just say what you ain't got to say you stop. It's like, I'm going to be out. It's not going to be
and then she know I'm a goddamn hothead, so if the police pull me over, someone's like, did this motherfucker argue with the goddamn police?
All of that part. All that. So pretty much, we worry every time you go out the door.
Yeah, that's not just with you, it's the girls too. That's why I tell them, text me when you get where you at.
Exactly.
Text me when you on your way. Like,
that's just how we're set up.
But you know what? The girls being gone now does help me understand that more.
See, you think about it,
because I'll be in bed, I can't sleep because they 18. And I can't tell them they don't go nowhere because when I was 18, I was every motherfucking way.
Exactly.
So, I was in a go-go band. I was all here. I was there. I was going up around. So, they're 18 and they nowhere near where I was, so I give them their space. But when they're not in that goddamn house, I be like, I can't really sleep.
And guess what? When you're not home, I can't sleep either.
So imagine how
I get it. That's what I'm saying. I get it. Talking this shit out.
So that's the thing. Yeah,
fuck.
That's the thing.
And we can cuss in front of our therapist.
And this is the space that you allow for us too. Like, you kind of, I don't know if people, I realize it. It's like these gentle nudges into this form of conversation and this thought that takes us to a place. It's like you don't ever necessarily tell us this is a situation. You kind of let us say it.
And we never feel judged.
From who, huh?
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, for us per se, right? Like, we both, as most of us do, most of us come from a Christian background. Mm-hmm. So we always want to go to the church and niggas be calling on Jesus to save their marriage, but in no disrespect. I mean that respectfully.
Yes.
Respectfully to Jesus, but nigga, shit.
You gotta do some work.
You gotta do some motherfucking work. You can't just say, Jesus is gonna save my marriage.
Prayer without works is dead.
It's dead.
Not just that though, sometimes that's not what sometimes I don't want to feel like I have to sit a certain way before a pastor. And sometimes I gotta say fuck shit and goddamn. But a pastor gonna feel disrespected if I say fuck shit, goddamn, this bitch pissing me off. But sometimes I might get to this bitch is pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah.
But if I'm in front of a pastor, it has gotten to that.
Yeah.
But if I'm in front of a pastor, I can't do that shit. So it's just like, if I say, let me tell you something, this bitch is pissing me off, he gonna pull out a verse to say, well, the Lord says use thy words with thine tithesome and be thine Lord. I don't want to hear that shit.
So how have you dealt with our blow-ups? Because you have witnessed
we done blown
several blow-ups. Like, I guess without giving, patient privilege.
Patient privilege? What the fuck is that? This is made up a term.
It's a thing. It's HIPAA.
Oh, HIPAA? That is not patient privilege.
Oh, well, whatever.
Patient confidentiality.
Patient confidentiality.
Yeah, that's different.
So, I guess what moments or how many times did you think they were not going to come back?
That you ever
Did you ever think that we wasn't going to come back or that we was going to break up? And were you proud of us for keep showing up?
Yes, there was one time when you was really mad. I was like, oh, this might be it. That was the only time. And then you came back, I was like, yes. She's still there. I want to text and ask. I'm like, I don't really want to ask. I don't really want to answer. I'm going to wait and see. So there was only one time I was like, oh, this might be it. And she was like, I'm done.
She said, I'm done. I was like, you can't go.
Yeah, done. So that was it. But I think the other thing too about therapy, especially in the Black community, that if you don't create an atmosphere for people to come as they are, that has to be secondary to all that else, because it's hard enough to get to therapy with all this stigma. So if you come to therapy, then you got all this rules and how you got to be and what you got to say and all that. Like, we're never gonna get to the issues.
Never
Never
will.
gonna get to
Yep.
issues. So
Yep.
that's not my thing. In that, you know, I want people to feel comfortable so that we can get to the work.
Yeah.
Like if you don't show up fully who you are, then I can't even really.
You can't even work
If you don't
because
show up fully who
Yeah,
you
'cause if you're
are.
not-
your
if-
authentic self.
yeah, because if you're not being your authentic self with a therapist, they're working on a figment of your own
And
imagination.
I'm just going by the story you telling me, and it's not even real.
It's not even who the fuck you are.
Figment of your own imagination.
Yes.
You done made up this. So if I'm standing before somebody that I have to look respectful or be a certain way,
There's so much of you I'm not gonna get.
Yeah, I've tailored myself to be this individual.
Yes.
But really, I'm a nigga that like to sit back and go to the fucking bar and just chill, even though I can go vegan like it's nothing and run 10 miles. I'm just
Exactly.
I can't.
And so it does me a disservice when I can't see all of who you are, because that also informs how you are in relationships, how you are as a father, how you are at work. Like if I don't have the whole piece, then I can't even help navigate. But so if you have a therapist that you can't tell the truth to, you can't be yourself, you need to change therapists.
Yeah.
Wow.
This
Period.
this podcast has also helped. I can't speak for you, but this podcast has helped me be authentic to my true self. Like
Good.
Me too.
I
It has
can
with me
eat
too.
fucking chicken now and not feel
Yeah.
guilty. I can do so much more shit that I didn't do before because you feel like you got to look a certain way, but like I don't give a
The
fuck.
freedom
no
of
more.
that, though.
Yes.
The
Nigga, I
freedom
don't-
of that.
I don't give
But
a
you
fuck
know
no
what?
more.
Even for me, even with us in therapy with you, I don't know if you noticed, maybe you did. Like, but when we first started, I didn't really cuss. Like, I would just kind of.
Yeah, I remember the first time you cussed, I was like, oh. And she had some real proficient cuss words.
She's proficient in this
What?
shit. This ain't no motherfucker.
No, I remember.
This ain't an accident.
No. I was like, oh.
Oh, you don't just bitch ass nigga don't just roll off the
Nope,
tongue
not
like
like that. Not that easy. That was practice. That was practice.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right,
ain't
so
done
you
this-
showed up.
So all
Okay.
that motherfucking
Yeah, she
he
showed
is
up.
this. It's like one day you bitch ass nigga, let me tell you
Showed
something
up.
about
I said,
yourself.
I said, now let's go. Now the gloves are
Now.
off.
now the
let's
gloves
go.
are
Now
off.
we're in
Let's get
therapy.
So you
let's
get
get to it.
excited when you see those kind of moments.
Absolutely.
Because you like,
I'm like, I
oh.
knew it had to be in there. How you not that mad?
If this
I
nigga
mean-
fucked up.
Again.
I'm not all the way fucked
No,
up.
you, no.
No, I'm saying like how you know. So I'm like, we're not getting to the truth if you're not really mad, or you can't express your anger.
Yeah.
You know, then we haven't really scratched. Then
She was
you're
holding all
holding that in.
I'm looking
Then you're
at
gonna tear up the house or something.
And that's what normally happens.
Yeah.
I hold everything in,
Yes.
bottle it in, and then all of a sudden it's this eruption.
she on the fucking therapist joint like, I tore down the house again. I ripped
Real calmly.
all the fucking pictures
And you
off
just
the
looking at me
wall.
like, are you sure that
It's not the same person. She's a psychopath. That's why I be scared for real.
You're not that scared.
He like danger. That's what it is.
I like what?
You like danger. You like
You
living
like
on
the
the
excitement
edge.
of it.
I
Yeah.
laugh at the sight of danger.
I think Daniel sometimes. Okay. This is a good conversation. I think he likes crazy.
No doubt.
Who, me?
I think he loves those extra emotions, and I think sometimes Daniel do shit to purposely be like,
Poke the
oh
bear."
shit, bitch. I think you get excited by it.
Nah, I don't like crazy.
Bullshit. I'm telling
You gonna call me on my bullshit? I don't like crazy. You get crazy. I don't like that shit. I mean, I might poke the bear and get you there, but it wasn't my intention. And when you go crazy, I'm
What
like,
was your attention? You don't want to go that far.
So you want to even control my level of crazy? God damn, you a controlling ass nigga.
I have come to realize I have been controlling over the years.
Oh.
Namaste.
So one other good question that you asked us recently was, what do we see in our vision for our relationship? And I never even thought about that, like individually, like what was our individual narratives in a relationship, because I realized how much of what I believe a husband does from what I saw my
Right.
father do,
Yep.
how much I put on him, and him and my father are not the same people.
I'm
Like my
definitely-
father is a homebody, prefers to be home, so I'm looking at him like,
I'm a fucking alley cat.
you out again? Like, when is home enough?
Especially when we were younger, it was bad because
Oh yeah, it was
nigga,
bad.
I was literally never in the house. So and I didn't even think about it. You know, she got twins, But I'm fucking gone. I get off from work, she's already at home. Like she told me one time when we was younger, she said, man, I'm talking to babies all day.
Yeah.
I just want you to be home. And I'm like, bitch, I'm out the streets. Fuck wrong with you? You got it. But we didn't know how to communicate that at 22 years old.
Absolutely.
Either. So at 22 years old, it's like, nigga, you out in the motherfucking streets, da 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 da. And now it's like, I get that. But that's 20 years after the bullshit.
Yes. You have a whole different set of needs
I'm not
now.
the same person.
No,
I'm not
absolutely
the same. I'm not that same young nigga that's shooting fucking craps and doing what I do. And now I gotta be a dad and a husband. And all my friends are still doing what they do. But I'm a dad and a husband, but I still want to do what we all do. It was rough, man, and I was like the only one. So it didn't start changing.
When did you notice the shift, though, in you? When did the change happen?
What you mean?
Of you realize to be at home and like make those choices.
Truthfully?
Of not running the street, yeah.
Oh, you talking about back then?
No, now.
Oh, shit, now? Because I'm getting old, and I don't want to get knocked out by one of these young niggas, and they not even fighting. They shooting and shit, but that's not just it. I just don't feel like being out no more. Like, I like peace. So at my house, I got a front yard. I got fucking nice backyard. My kids in a nice neighborhood. I can sit on my porch just like I'm sitting on wherever I was sitting. Like my house in my neighborhood was the porch that everybody came through around the neighborhood. I had another neighborhood where, you know, Nappy Pigs we used to sit on the steps. So I was outside wherever I went. I got another friend. We would sit on the balcony and we'd just be all around. So I never was like in the fucking house, but I didn't realize that it was time to change that until like, I think it was like, man, I don't know. Because it wasn't even back then. I just figured it out this go around.
Right. So when did you start realizing what Patrice needed though from you?
When did I start realizing what Patrice needed from me?
Or are you still figuring that out?
I'm always figuring that out. I study her. So now I can sit back where she pissed off and I'll be like, okay, sometimes I do it to a fault where I'm like, what did I do to piss her off? And sometimes it's not even me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what's wrong? Right. But you ain't do shit. She's just having a bad fucking day.
Because in your head you start going down the checklist.
Because I'm trying to do
whatever,
what the fuck I did.
Yeah.
What the fuck I did because I want to make it so right. Because she's deserving.
Absolutely.
And I left her motherfucking ass. So that's why I had to think back. I was trying to think back young when I figured it out. But in our first marriage,
you didn't figure it out.
I was in the streets the entire time.
You didn't figure it out, right?
It was never one time where I was in the house.
Wow.
But I was damn. My bad. Shit. The fuck?
This is exactly how it happens.
My bad, shit.
This is exactly how it happens in our sessions. You get to talking and realize that's real fucked up.
I wasn't shit, nigga. I'm out here in these streets. Hey, look, I laugh, motherfuckers be like, we outside. Nigga, I've been outside, nigga. I was born outside. I got a wife and kid, but right. You know what? This motherfucker held home down.
Huh?
You held that shit down.
No, she really did.
Because our daughters are awesome.
They are amazing.
Life right now is amazing.
Their heads are so strong.
Woo!
Their heads are so strong. They have the best. You know what I always told you before? They are the best. They are literally the best of you all.
I can't wait to see
them. They
are
the best of you all.
I can't wait to see them at their full
potential. They're taking all your mistakes. They're taking all your greatness and put that together.
So
oh my God, they took in so much.
And I think that's.
They could spit it out.
Yeah. Right. And analyze it for themselves and know how they're going to approach.
What they
they be like, nah, Dad, that's some bullshit.
Or no, they be like, nah, we not doing that. We not done. We saw all the stuff that y'all went through. Why would we redo that? And so that, but they do make sure that we're aware we will make our own mistakes.
Yeah, you're not.
They let that shit be known.
Yes.
But we gonna fuck up too. Just like that. We gonna fuck up too. We be like,
and it's okay.
Yeah.
That's our relationship.
And I think that's what's now. Listening to you talk, I'm realizing too what part of our like situation stuff is right now is that of course the beginning of our marriage, I was so selfless. Like everything was Kayla, Kiara, everything
was just everybody but you.
And now I'm kind of being more assertive about my space in this relationship.
Taking up your space.
Yeah, I'm taking up my space, and that's where I'm trying to I'm learning how to do it gently and not. Sometimes it does need to be forceful, and sometimes it don't need to be as forceful as I think it does. And I need to just ask. Like, he don't know that, because I never gave him. I never asked for that kind of space. So why would he know that that was my current need when I'm shifting as a person? And so I realize now too, like,
that's the rub.
Some of our miscommunications have been because I haven't expected you to know, like, what I'm needing right now, but I'm just realizing what I'm needing right now.
I be like, man, I ain't no goddamn mind reader.
Yeah.
I'm not a mind reader. You got like
it's all new territory that you have to navigate. It's all new territory.
Before I didn't give a fuck. Now I actually want to know.
Absolutely.
And I need it communicated, because one thing about me, when I get a task, I'm on that shit.
Yes. You're gonna fix it. You're gonna fix it.
Yeah,
but it's navigating. But I think in this next cycle that you're in, you're definitely gonna have to over communicate.
Oh my goodness.
Over communicate and not make any assumptions. Say
You
stuff
better
extra.
not ever tell me you talking too much.
But that's not really
not just talking much, but saying your intent.
You know what she did to me today? I came home.
Did you talk about?
Man, I came home from work.
Not that.
I came home from work, and she was full throttle as soon as I walked in the door.
Oh my God,
she said,
that's the worst.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Let me tell you what the fuck happened to these motherfuckers. I'm tired of these motherfuckers.
I actually was on the phone early.
You can wait to come dump all that on you.
While I'm on the phone,
You know these bitch ass niggas did it
on the phone. Like,
I know I gotta get out this motherfucker, man. I got to make this shit pop.
And that's another thing, like, hey,
because I'm gonna lose this motherfucking job. They gonna fire my
say
ass.
You ain't what?
No. I'm not confusing the universe. I am thankful for the blessings that have come before me, and I will continue to thrive in any position given to me. And I express gratitude, and I apologize and retract my last statement.
And in divine timing, you will go on to your next assignment.
Bang! Exclamation point. Bing!
Divine timing, you'll go on. Divine timing is so true. It really is. Because you could be in your purpose, but be forcing the timing.
Exactly.
And divine timing.
And get ahead of it.
Yep.
Let it unfold naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Now, if it's time to go and you haven't left, they'll get you fired. You know what I mean? But you'll know
you
you
already made
overstayed
that deal. I already made a deal.
They'll be like, it's time, that contract, it's time for you to
You
come
was
to
only
that
supposed
bed.
to be here for X amount.
And you knew when I told, because you know the voice when you hear it. You know that your instinct was telling you and your gut was telling you it's time to go.
Why is that
month.
voice so small?
Because we don't spend time with it. We don't spend quiet time with it to nurture it. So just like you spend time with your kids, you know your kid's voice. It's nurturing a relationship. So, and then trusting it, because it's never wrong. You can hear it could be this many people in this room and this loud. You can hear your kids call you mommy. I'm over all of this. So you know the voice. So you spend time with that voice inside of you that speaks to you all the time. You would know it, and you would not confuse it with all those other things in your head.
That is so true.
We don't spend no quiet time with it. We meditate, but we just like do-do-do-do-do. You know, meditating too, just going in and being quiet, not trying to control the thoughts. Just let them come and go, but just being still and ask, what is it you want me to know?
Right.
Show me what I'm supposed to see.
Right.
What do you want me to do? This is always about reconnecting, staying connected to your source. Because if not, then what are we doing? We just out here shooting in the dark.
100%. Because that's no difference from a prayer without works. To a degree, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
Because you still, if
praying,
you're just
but you're
shooting in
not
the
doing
dark, if you're just shooting in the dark, you're like, Bob,
You're all over the place.
You don't know what the fuck to do. Damn.
But the beauty about you all's relationship and why it's clear that, you know, you're meant to be together is that it's bigger than just the marriage and the relationship. It's like you all have a work to do together.
Yeah.
That's bigger than both of you.
That's why we named it Divine Purpose.
Yes.
And I don't even think when we named it Divine Purpose, we knew fully what it actually meant. And now we're just coming into the true definition of what.
And you
putting them words out there.
And you're going to still come into some more of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to still grow into some more of it.
It's amazing though. This has been this right here though.
You're all on a ride.
Me and Patrice are both creators, and we've created a lot of things apart and together. I think, honestly, two things. This, for me, is probably my favorite project. It really is, for me.
Yeah.
And part of this project that I'm enjoying even more and seeing how it's taking her out of her shadow, and I'm seeing the results and the reward of her now coming out of her shadow, and me not keeping my wife in the cut, because I know she's so amazing. Now that she's out the cut, man, this motherfucker is.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
God damn, she about to be. Hey,
You haven't seen
I'm
nothing
literally
yet.
about to retire.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
And the more that she continues to take up all of her space, it's gonna be bigger. She's still just scratching the surface.
I'm just giving her room, and now it's my turn, because she has always supported me. Now it's my turn to support you. Watch where the fuck this shit go.
And supporting her means to just giving her space to do what she needs to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, doing your thing, doing your work, continue to do your work.
I can't not. It's just part of my makeup. I'm always be Daniel. Juice,
Not
man.
that work, love.
What you talking about?
The internal work.
Oh yeah, that work. I'm always make that shit happen. I'm gonna make turn into a nigga real quick.
Real quick.
I'm always
It's right there. On time. It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast talking.
Right.
Hey, Kayla called me a fast talker today. I said, excuse me.
She
Dropped
said,
her
don't
off.
be shucking and jiving me,
Dropped her
nigga.
off at the
Right.
work at their job, and we was talking about money, because they talking about they going on the trip. So I was like, yeah, I'll give you this, but you gotta do this and da-da-da-da, and y'all been fucking up da-da-da-da. She said, man, don't be fast talking me. I said,
Wow. That's something else.
I said, almost said, let me tell you something, little bitch. Let me tell you something.
A nutbag.
Yes.
But as you all continue to heal, I mean, it's more to be uncovered.
And that's why you will be here for the whole ride. I am
We're gonna need
not
your ass.
starting over and reintroducing
Man.
all the shit that we've gone through. And I feel like as far as investments into our relationship, I feel like you were one of the
Biggest investment.
investments into our relationship.
And maybe that's how we should start looking at therapy. Therapy is an investment into yourself, and you just need a
Into
professional
yourself.
to help you fully therapize yourself.
Therapize yourself.
Therapize
That's
yourself.
gonna be on the t-shirt. Therapize yourself.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
But you can't. But therapy really is just a person, like you said, just a gentle guide. You can see some roadblocks that you can't see. Like you might want to take a left. I mean, I'm gonna be here if you take a right too. But you might think about taking a left. I would encourage you to look at this, look at that. Have you looked at that? Notice that? So really, kind of just a gentle guide on your journey.
And you have a real calm temperament. Real calm temperament. I've had a therapist that was kind of abrasive.
Oh.
Like abrasive. Like
Yeah, I think one of the first therapists I had, she was but I needed that at that time.
I ain't never need that shit. Like I'm coming here to be.
Yeah.
No, I needed that at that time.
So that means
That was like right the first time we separated, and she was like, girl, what's about to happen now? And then like I was coming back to her like after I stopped talking about you so much, and she was like, so, I mean, what else is there to talk about?
Stop talking about me.
Yeah, and so she kind of was like, we came here for a problem. It's solved. Now, what you gonna do? And I was like, I think I can handle it from here.
So
but
she
she
got
was
you
real
on
straight up.
Like, no, that's real. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely, like, I'm not that therapist you're gonna have for like. No, I think the difference is we're not gonna be working on the same problem forever.
Yes.
That's different.
Yes.
Cause I'm not.
Yes.
'Cause that means you're not working then.
Cause
Yes.
you just there and you.
Oh yeah,
I'm
because
not-
we
come in every week. We talking about the same thing. I'm not that girl. I'm not
so
your girl.
we kind of graduated from doing our weekly sessions. Now we
And I'm
know
gonna say-
bi-weekly.
But I give you that space because you gotta have some life experience, and then let's see what happens with the tools you got.
Yeah.
Let's go and then come back work on that.
Yeah.
But you gotta have some space to do
Yeah,
that.
we
come
come back
every week,
like-
you
But
don't
you
have
know,
time to work on
but
that.
you know, every now and then you get that random call. Hey,
I need you.
when's
What's your
the next availability?
It's not just from you. It's like a lot of them calls. Like, spend too much time now.
Like I try to be grown, but I don't think it's
It
worth it.
happens. It happens. Let's go back and see what
Right,
went
it's
wrong
like
there.
something
It's getting on my
happened.
nerves.
I tried this
Excuse me for
technique.
cussing.
I
Shit,
tried
my
this
bad.
technique. Yeah, we like go down the line. Like, okay, we did this. Remember, Miss Diane said that. Remember, we supposed to be working on this. All right, none of this shit working. Fuck, what's going on? What's going on? Let's check it back in. And that's why our most recent check-in was when you helped us to realize that it's not necessarily the same old shit. It's growing pain.
Oh yeah, it's not the same. These are different issues. It's not the same.
It's definitely not the same.
It's not the same.
That means like
you did a lot of hard work. I'm telling you, you did a lot of hard work, and I appreciate your vulnerability and effort, especially Daniel too, to admit all those things. And you all came and did on a podcast, talked about that the transparency.
Yeah, we do this shit real public, man. We do this shit.
How much you give other people permission to do that, though? How big that is?
But we already understand that because now couples are reaching out to us. Like,
Absolutely.
I just want to come on the show and just talk because what I realize now is our vulnerability allows other people to be vulnerable.
Absolutely, gives them permission.
But in the beginning, somebody it was saying like, oh, you gonna put all your shit out there? That's messy as fuck. But it's not
at all.
It's like my intentions was never for it to be messy.
No.
My intentions was always for it to show a story that I know is going to impact other fucking people.
And this story is not unique to you. That it's a lot of people living in
that's
different variations,
yeah.
but they're still
a lot of people don't publicly speak about and we still keep a lot to ourselves.
As you should.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't put as much as we put out there. Sometimes it's like it's scary.
And men though, and black men.
I'm a
Can
man.
we talk about black
and look,
men?
I'm an alpha man. So for me to sit here like this with my
This
lady,
is what I'm saying.
it's tough. It's tough because I know how niggas be thinking. I don't give a fuck though, because I'm a alpha fucking man. So a nigga ain't gonna try me. And if they do, I ain't the toughest nigga in the world. Anybody can be God, but I'm not a bitch. So for me to stand here like this, it shows a lot of those type of niggas to be like, look.
It's real strength.
It's real strength.
Yeah, alpha don't mean that you could fight.
You can't be vulnerable.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, and I think a lot of times that's what the definition of alpha. Like you ain't never got no problems. You don't never have to ask for help. You got it all figured out. You're a leader of your family. But sometimes being a leader is knowing when you need help. And
delegating those tasks.
And it's going to take another black man to give another black man permission to be vulnerable. Exactly. I can't give him permission. It has to come from you.
So we as black men, we got to keep this motherfucking facade.
But that was how you were socialized.
But we have to. Especially growing up the way we grew up, you can't look weak. You can't show no weakness. It's like, nigga try you.
Survival.
Nigga try you. It's survival.
Yeah.
So we grew up thinking survival. If I'm always thinking I gotta survive, I'm always going to be in a motherfucking I'm going to be in that mode. I'm going to go if something come my way. I don't want nothing to come my way, but if it come my way, I'm going to handle that shit.
And that's the thing. So because you were always in survival mode, then you got to try to learn how to love.
Now I got.
Put your guard down.
So
you're still not in the fight. Remember you said in the beginning, you were always in the fight mode.
But this what God do to niggas like me. I give you twin girls. Your sister gonna move in with you.
I don't mean nothing for everybody, love.
It don't.
Yeah, I don't mean nothing for everybody. But I do know this for you. You became a believer in therapy because he was not
I wasn't for that shit.
In therapy at all. Now he's an advocate.
Fucking pay somebody to talk.
Yeah. I know how to fix me. Remember, he read all the books, right?
Read all the books. He read all the books, cover to cover.
100%. But therapy helped me put the books together. My running was my therapy. I'll be in my head like, I come back home. In my mind while I'm running, that shit is great. Picasso is in my brain. And I come home, she be like, that shit dumb as a motherfucker. I be like, bitch, fuck.
I ain't never seen it. That's what he heard. Right. He heard that shit
he hears
dumb.
Stuff, though.
Right. He had a whole nother voice that I'm not using. Yes. He heard it was dumb. I just was like, oh,
So then I had to learn how to listen to my fucking wife.
So first of all, it's 6:30 in the morning and you're already taking over the world.
Come back home at 6:30 in the morning. Guess what we about to do?
I have a brilliant idea.
Let me tell you something. We about to sell drones.
This shit gonna work. I don't care what you say, this shit gonna work.
My nigga.
That shit can work though.
It is gonna work.
I'll talk to you about that
100%.
because I know exactly how to build that shit out.
That's why I brought it up.
Real talk.
That's why I brought it up.
I've been meaning to talk to you.
Yep.
I have an idea, and if you're not comfortable with it, I'll facilitate for you.
She gonna get some models.
I would love to be the one to be like, no, sir, you don't qualify.
You don't measure up to
Take
this.
your shirt off. Pull your pants down. No. Next. You're out of here. Next.
I might gotta hire somebody else to do that. Hey, my wife would be, what's your position? Dick watch all day.
Oh my God.
Best job in the world. I'm like, what I say?
No, all jokes aside, like real talk. Real talk.
What do I say to a motherfucker say, hey, what's your wife do for her job? Hey, she
You
pick
see
up
these? You see these niggas? These are my niggas.
What type of nigga let his wife do that?
We gonna be at the hotel at Hampton Inn having model tryouts.
Hampton Inn? They gonna be there. Y'all niggas is crazy.
You wanna be in a music video / modeling, come to Hampton Inn at 7 p.m.
That's an insider, but 100%. In a couple years, you'll be like, damn, them niggas did that shit. 100%.
But it takes a special kind of woman too to be able to contain that kind of brain.
I like compliments, so explain what you meant by that.
I mean, you have a brilliant mind. That's no secret.
You do.
You have a brilliant mind. You have a lot of thoughts that happen at the same time.
Yeah.
And so managing that, she knows how to manage it, help you manage it, slow down sometimes. Sometimes you can't slow down or all that. So, but I mean, it's just, I think she's the right balance for you.
She does know how to manage this fucking mind of mine. You know, I got a thing sometimes with really checking my arrogance or my, like, I really gotta check it sometimes, right? So I'll be like, damn, I'll say I'm a fucking genius. And I know what I mean by that, but I really mean that shit.
Yeah, and you are.
She's my equal though.
Absolutely.
I like the way you just biting on your nails like that too.
There you go.
Anyway, get my face. Anyway, but yeah, no. So let me ask this question: as we're journeying into this next part of our relationship and where we're going, what is some advice that you would give us to, I guess, just in between our next sessions? Or advice you would give anybody going through growing pains? What to, I don't know.
So as therapists, we don't give advice.
That's right.
So I might make some suggestions. And I think one is that, again, like I said, over-communicate. Err on the side of explaining too much. And because now there's going to be those spaces that weren't there before. You don't want to, because when there's space and we don't have the whole story, we start creating stories. And then all our insecurities start coming up. So when he's there, all this absent, like, so she's not spending.
Would you text her before we pulled up? Dude?
No.
Text her before we pulled up?
No, why?
That shit just happened. Like what you just said
What just happened?
She missed it. Say what you said again, please.
I heard it. I don't get what you
Did you hear
think
what she
that
said? I was assuming that things were wrong.
That's not.
When you don't have information, when you don't have the whole story, you start filling in, creating another story.
I was creating other stories.
But the story is informed by old insecurities.
Right.
So you can't make those kind of assumptions. You gotta ask the question.
What she said when we was driving here was, this ain't me you arguing with. You got this shit in your own head. I'm not the one fucking, you gotta deal with yourself.
Yes.
I ain't do shit. Like,
yes.
That's why I said it sounded like.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So so all this new space and all this shifting for you is gonna kick up all that old stuff that you never even knew was still there.
I'm not used to her like being this on go.
A boss. You're not used to her being a boss. Instead of being just a wife, she's also a boss now.
Boss.
Well, she's been a boss, but it's been it's been kind of overcovered in some wife mother duties. Now she doesn't need to do as much mothering. The girl's about to go.
Yeah.
She's creating a whole lane for her own businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's all boss stuff.
And I'm used to just being the one that just take care of everything.
Yes.
Now I'm looking at her like, God damn, nigga.
So these skills and things you're about to see you haven't seen before. Not in this way. So you have to tell yourself and make room for that in your head and not let your insecurities inform that.
I'm trying to I'm about to research if Stedman had a book, and I'm gonna be Stedman. Like,
are you being serious?
I swear to God, nigga. I'm about to find Stedman book, nigga. I'm about to just sit back.
Like how to be with a boss.
I'm gonna be your biggest motherfucking cheerleader and just go. Hey, what up? Where we at today? I'm your security, nigga. I'm out. Fuck a nigga up. I wish you fucking would. I wish the fuck you would. Not today. Where you need me to be. That's how I'm looking at this shit. Cause I'm looking. Listen, she had created the business 4 months ago, and the amount of contracts that she already has, like the number that's going to come from the
and it's gonna grow.
I'm like, what the fuck? What?
And it's gonna grow.
You know how many juices I sold in the 4 month span, and I still was on a hamster wheel?
So you have to be real careful in this next period of really staying in tune with that and being clear about what's happening, redirect, and then stop and say, well, what story did you just tell yourself?
But I'm gonna go back and look at this, and this is why I say this podcast is really good, because it really keeps you accountable to what you say. Because you really putting it out there.
Yes.
And one of mine is like kind of learning how to cut it off, like to be your wife and not be like the boss, the facilitator, all right, you need to boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm gone. It's like, nigga, why you ain't doing this shit? Like, I'm trying to figure that part out, because I know that
you got to put a little cushion in there.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time for me to kind of get off of the managing, facilitating mindset and then come back to like just regular life.
Yeah.
You know, just regular being of life. So, we just a work in progress, you know.
Absolutely.
And then everything we say now probably will change.
Absolutely.
So it's like, this where we are
Ain't
today.
nothing changing that we saying. What you talking about? What's changing?
She like, nigga, you scared me. No,
We gave the
amount of
money that we wanted to make. We talked about, ain't nothing changing that we just said.
No, but how you gonna deal with all that is gonna be what you
I
need to
got
watch.
nothing changing. That plan ain't changing. Pink,
Pinky sweat?
100%.
Right.
100%.
But how you manage and deal with that, those new dynamics is what you need to be ready for.
Yeah, that's that part. That's that part. So it's a lot more growing to do. Like, we're doing this podcast called Divine Purpose, and yes, our main focus is on couples. And we're definitely not here to give nobody advice.
You don't want our fucking
We just
advice.
hear, literally, every guest that we have on, we're hearing something from them that helps us to move forward. And I feel like every guest, it kind of goes back and forth with like the knowledge and the information that is received. And so for us, like, we're constantly working on this. Our first and most important priority is myself, but then us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yourself and then us. But that's our first. So compared to any business, even compared to our daughters, it's us. Because if we not a strong unit, we can't necessarily show up great for them or any other ventures that we have going on. So like,
And they're watching every move you make.
yeah.
They literally are, man. And they picking it up.
Oh yeah, they have picked it up.
Like the other day, right? They had man, I can't really talk. Well,
Yeah.
all right. Censorship.
Ain't sister shit. That shit just gotta be right. I don't know what the fuck you was about to say. You thought about it too long for yourself.
You was like, not
Like,
that part.
right,
Don't
if you
say
done
it.
thought about it like that,
Right.
like you said,
The one
you
with no filter.
I'm not gonna incriminate my daughters with some
If you
shit.
did it, oh nah,
Then that's a no.
Not
It's a no.
discuss it. I'ma
It's
cut
a
you
no.
off.
Even I was like, oh.
But maybe I should. Well, again,
Hey, you
That's
know
no.
it's bad when I
Yes.
censor myself.
Yes,
that's why I said nah, we ain't doing it.
that's a no.
But yeah, so again, as y'all always know, we are at Tacoma Station Tavern.
Yes. Shout out to
They
Tacoma
are
Station.
about to kick off their paint sip that they do every Wednesday. Believe it or not, we've been here for an hour. Miss Diane be trying to force us off the phone whenever we talking.
We've gone over an hour a
We
lot
done
of
talk
times.
all the time.
Hey, I'm like, Miss Diane, fuck that clock.
Miss Diane.
Miss, and look, I don't call nobody Miss, but you Miss Diane. I don't call nobody. I swear to God, I really don't call nobody
I
Miss.
know you don't. That's why I know that you on a
Sometimes-
different level with it.
Damn, well, Miss Diane, that's respect. I respect you.
I appreciate
Because
it.
I'll tell you what, like, I be Miss Lady Bitch sometimes. Look, Miss Lady Bitch, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to cut you off, but
And so,
I'm sorry for cursing.
with that being said, y'all will see a lot more of Miss Diane. We gonna start working on retreats
Yes.
and day conferences. And Miss Diane will definitely be the one that's going to be facilitating on our behalf, like to breakout sessions and stuff like that. We'll definitely start discussing it more. But this was our formal introduction.
Yes.
To you to our audience to see, like, literally we had the tools, but we didn't understand how to pull it out because we were blocking ourselves in so many other emotional ways. And Miss Diane has helped us to work through that, to realize that truly sometimes where I thought he was the enemy, it actually was in me.
Right.
And when he thought I was, it was in him. And that helped us to streamline this, and we truly appreciate you for coming. We could have gotten into so much more. We always can get into more, and Daniel normally.
But before I do the final thoughts, can you please like tell the people about like how to find you, the Lotus Wellness Group, and what that is, and then I'll close it.
Yes.
So you can find me at the lotuswellnessgroup.com. I'm not taking any more couples now until probably about September. But
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
but the lotuswellnessgroup.com.
Clap it up for yourself for coming out on a Wednesday.
You can find me there, and we have a contact page. So
clap it up for yourself. You're having a good week so far.
Final thoughts. Shout out to my man Cosby Digital, the host with the most. We're gonna wrap this up right now. Therapy is great. Therapy is not bad.
You can't heal from what you can't say.
You cannot heal from what you can't say. Amen to that. Namaste.
Bitch.
Make some noise if you're here for